So today I wanted to do my February TBR, and it's going to be a little bit of a beast. I didn't really want it to end up this way because I'm probably moving this month. And so having a lot doesn't seem like a great plan, but I have a few books that are due back this month that I don't have any renewals left on, so I threw them on my TBR. I have a few that I'm reading through in the hopes that it'll help one of my friends who is getting ready to query one of her books and is trying to find some comparable stories to it that she can put as if you liked this book, you might like this book kind of a thing. So I've got a lot on my plate for the month. But we're here and it's what we're doing. So let's just hop right into this. The first thing that I've got is this haunted house book, which is a bunch of short stories about haunted houses, which I picked up back when I wanted some spooky stuff, and they still sound fun. My goal is to read at least one short story from this, since it is a fairly thick book, and I do have a lot of reading going on, but I do love me some short stories, so here's this one first. That I've got. And then next, which I guess in a way is more of a first because it was on a previous TBR, but whatever, is Clown in a Cornfield, which I have started very barely. I don't think I even finished the prologue, but this one that I heard so much about, and it sounded like a spooky, silly, fun thing, and I just really want to know how a clown in a cornfield works out. How is this spooky? Why is this spooky? I'm here for it. So this is one of the ones that's due this month, and I can't renew it, so expect a review on this one if I like it, and I don't just DNF it like I did the Star Wars one that I had for January's TBR. And then next, I've got Other Words for Home, which I don't really remember the plot of or anything. Let's see. It looks like a girl is moving from her homeland to America. She was born in Syria and is moving to America, so it's a story about those kind of things, which I've been really into lately, and since it's also kind of representation of things beyond just white American people, seemed like a good one to go for. Also, maybe it'll work for my friend's thing. She is looking more for graphic novels, but if you don't have graphic novels that are of a similar vein, it might still work. I don't know. We'll have to see, because it does seem like it's more of a younger reader, probably, and that's kind of the age group that she writes to, too, so we'll see. Then next, I've got Sunbolt, which is one that I think someone else was reviewing, and I thought sounded fun, and so I picked it up, and this one is about an orphan who's got magic, and there's a league of magical people, and so she has to kind of take sides and stuff. It'll be a quick read, hopefully, and maybe again it'll be useful for my friend's stuff. I don't know if that one will be as young of a read, but we'll find out. And then next, I've got The Interpretation of Maladies, which is one that I picked up for me being interested. I'm pretty sure, again, it was someone else on BookTube who reviewed it, and I was like, ooh. Also, this is short stories, and I love short stories, and since it's a shorter one, I may actually finish the whole thing. Just maybe. And then next, this is another one that I found that I thought might be helpful with my friend's stuff. This may be too young of a reader, but it sounded kind of adorable. It's like a whole series of this little mouse, and I used to read Ralph the Mouse by Beverly Cleary and stuff, and so if nothing else, hopefully it'll give me fun nostalgia vibes. This one is almost a graphic novel style, so again, I think this is probably a little too young for what my friend's age group is in her writing, but maybe it'll be a fun one, and I'll have a silly review of a little kid series or something coming up too. I don't know. And then next is Zatanna and the House of Secrets. This is actually one that my friend who's going to be querying her book sent me for Christmas, and so I'm excited just to read it for that. But this one is a graphic novel, so maybe if this one feels like the vibes of the story that she's trying to query, I can say, hey, at the very least you've got this one that you sent me, this one will work. So, we'll see. I'm hopeful for that one. that it will work for that, if nothing else. But I think it'll be a fun read either way, because she's got great taste in stories, and we always share fun ones with each other. So I'm looking forward to that. Then next, I've got Avengers Assembly, which is another, like, kind of got some elements of graphic novel type of thing. It's almost like a mixed media book, honestly. But this is one that maybe will work for the book that my friend is querying, but also was completely just for me, because this book is by Preeti Chibber, and I've been listening to her podcast on the Wheel of Time, and I love it so much. And so when I was like, oh wait, she's a writer, and I looked into it, and my library had this, I was like, yes, I can read one of her books. That'll be fun too. And it'll go along with my listening to her Wheel of Time podcast. So I'm having a lot of fun feelings about this one, and I hope it's really fun, because she's got a great personality, and I like her voice in the podcast, which I assume has some degree of scripting in that they plan out which elements of the books they want to talk about. So maybe it'll be similar in that way, and I'll get to enjoy that one. I mean, I'm probably going to enjoy it either way, but it would be cool if it feels like her style, having listened to her podcast, and that'll be interesting too. And finally, the last one, like graphic novel-wise, that's real graphic novel type stuff, is Darth Maul. I've been kind of going through some Star Wars stuff, as you've maybe seen in my other videos. This was one that I just saw and was like, okay, I'm in a Star Wars mood, and everyone likes Darth Maul. Let's see if I can like him more after reading a graphic novel about him. Oh, it's also a Marvel one now. Who knew that Star Wars was Marvel? Or, I guess, just doing the comics for it? Anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully I like it more than that Loki one that I just recently read. But who knows? We'll see. And then the final thing that I had for my TBR for this month, yes, like I said, this is a super long one for me, but I mean, if you look at how many books I read for January, I can read this many books, especially with so many, like, smaller kids / graphic novel style ones. But it is a lot of books to be putting out there. But the final thing that I've got is actually 2 books. These books are both called Watch Over Me. I could not tell you what either of them is about, because I went through the system that I've been doing, where I just find in my library search and I look for books that have the same title. These are gonna be part of that series that I've been doing that's like, do I like books with the same title? These are the ones I'm planning for February. I haven't been putting them always in these videos, or I don't know if I've ever put them in a TBR, but since I already had both of these and I was planning on it, I was like, I'll just put them in the plan. And then if people are curious, they know that they've got Watch Over Me in 2 forms to look out for. And we'll see how it goes. I think they're probably both like YA contemporary, looking at the covers. Particularly this one seems very YA contemporary. It actually kind of looks like it could be part of the After series with this cover. So it definitely feels YA contemporary. This one, maybe a little less so. This maybe could even be a historical one, looking at the cover. I don't know. Again, like I said, I haven't actually looked at what either of them are about, because it's more fun to be surprised and just be like, I picked them because they had the same title, and we'll see if they're any good based on that. But yeah, that's everything that I've got for my TBR for February. If you have any fun stuff for your TBR for February, feel free to share down below. If you happen to have read anything that I've got on my TBR, which other than like Clown in a Cornfield, I would assume most people haven't, because it's kind of a random eclectic mess of books this month. Feel free to share your thoughts on them down below, or if you have thoughts on if you think I'll like or dislike any of them, feel free to share any of that, all of that down below. But that's all I've got for now. This is the Umla Harper signing out.